Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. The time has come. It's going to be cold, below freezing in the foreseeable forecast here for every night and many days. Most days will be even freezing around here, coming up right away. I need to get my parsnips out of the ground and my carrots. I still have some carrots in some raised beds. So we'll see. I actually tried to pull up some parsnips and carrots the other day and the ground was frozen. And I managed to get a few parsnips out of the end there. They weren't very big, they weren't very spectacular. And the carrots aren't huge either, but they're worth the using. They're still usable. So I'm probably gonna have to use my pitchfork to get some of these pulled out. But I should be able to manage it and we'll see what we get out of it. It's a cold one, so I'm just gonna get to it and try and get this job done. Looks like there's been enough sun shining on it. It's actually loose. Maybe they just weren't pulling up for me the other day. Parsnips can be tricky to get pulled up. So let's see. I'll tag off the cucumbers there. They're certainly not monster parsnips. I planted these parsnips using seeds from 2019 parsnip that got left in the ground and then went to seed in 2020. So I collected those seeds and used those to plant my parsnips this year in 2021. I had really good germination with them, but they're not great parsnips, so I don't know if that's because of the seed and the plants. There's a strawberry in there. Or if it's just this bed was really intensely planted and had pole beans on one side of the parsnips and cucumbers on the other side, and so maybe they just weren't getting enough light or water or nutrients or something. I'm not sure. Well, these are pulling up really easy today. I'm not sure why I couldn't get them out of the ground the other day. Another strawberry. I saw some strawberries I can plant out in my strawberry bed next year, it looks like. Some volunteers here. Yeah, I thought the ground was frozen the other day. I don't know why I couldn't get them pulled up when I was out here the other day. Because it's not quite frozen yet. So when you pull parsnips, if you push down and then pull up, they tend to come out more easily. I don't know if you can see that here. So you just push down at the top of the stem and pull up. Well, that's not a good example there, but push down and then pull up, and they'll come up pretty nicely. I left one behind. Yeah. There. So those aren't too bad. Not the best parsnips, but they'll do. So there, I didn't actually need the fork. So I got a few a little bit bigger And then some smaller ones. These little ones are really nice though. You just give them a good scrub, you don't peel them or anything, and just roast them in the oven. They're really nice like that. That's actually one of my favorite ways for eating parsnips, is roasted. Oh, they're really nice. Boiled with a bit of like butter and cinnamon or something, cooked on after, or just mashed. I guess I just like parsnips. I'm not too fussy about how I cook them. And they're great with carrots too. The two work really nicely together. So I just am pulling the tops off to store them like that. And you can put them in a bucket of sand, like damp sand or damp peat moss in a cool area that doesn't freeze. Or, you know, in a bag in your crisper drawer. There's not very many here, so I'll probably just put them in a ventilated bag in my crisper drawer, or wrapped in a damp kitchen towel, and just store them like that, and they'll last for several weeks for me that way. So now let's go see if we can get the carrots out. Hopefully they come out as easily as this. So like I said, it seemed like this bed was freezing up. It's raised up off the ground. It's just about this deep and raised up. And we have been getting some pretty cool nights. So I had put this piece of plexiglass on just to try and get the sun heating up in here. I've pulled out a few rows, but I still have some left. So let's see, I do have tags in here. This one is Scarlet Gnats. Now a lot of these didn't seem like they were getting very big, but my husband quite enjoys these little carrots like this, so I've been succession sowing them over and over just whenever I have a space. It looks like I have 2 rows of Scarlet Gnats. I'm just gonna try and just go through and pull. And these haven't been getting any water other than we've had a bit of rain a couple times in the last month, but my water system's been shut off for over a month now, I think. And I'm just been letting nature water them. And the ground is still quite damp in here, so it's nice. Feels like there's some in here where the tops broke off from where I pulled before, so I can't remember what these were. Touchon maybe? I can't remember. Oh look, I think I have the tag in the house. There's a couple of these bigger ones I could feel when I was in here. Maybe just one. The tops had broken off. Adelaide? I can't remember. So I'm just going to go through this whole bed and just try and get every last carrot out that I can. That worked well, putting that plexiglass on, because I could not stick my fingers in the soil the other day when I was out here, and it was warmer out than it is today. So these are Neptune over here. These are planted July 27th. These are sweetness. Again, these say they were planted July 27th. You can tell these are faster maturing than the Neptune. So getting better carrots out of them. There's the sweetness. And these are Adelaide. So I'm not even sure if there's a tag. What's this say? That's leftover from beets. The soil's a bit crusty on the top. You can kind of see the frost in there. I don't know if you can see that. You see the frost in the top layer, but it hasn't gotten lower. So we'll see what we can pull out here and if there's anything worth saving. To kind of break that top layer. You see the top layer comes off in chunks like that because it's so cold. This one's not quite as frozen because it has more protection from the leaves of the plants, I guess. I don't know. Those were never thinned, you can tell, and they didn't grow very much, so might not really be anything in here. Kind of neglected these ones. Yeah, there's not going to be much in here worth saving. You can see soil here. I dumped some pots onto this bed. And apparently I covered the carrots up a bit. Oh, here's a tag. Is this the carrot tag? Neptune. So yeah, the Neptune and the other bed I think were kind of not the greatest either. So I don't know when these were planted. I don't have a date on there. Yeah, I think these, well, they definitely needed to be thinned and weren't. They're just not really worth even pulling up. But well, there's a lot here. I'm just going to leave. Might come out and pop it in my composter. These I'll maybe take the tops off and just roast, scrub them up good and roast them. They're so tiny, it's not worth doing much else with them. But I think part of the problem here is these were not thinned at all. I don't know. I was neglectful of this little section here. And this was like 18 by 18 little piece of land here, and there's way too many carrots in there for that, so I'm not sure what happened with that, but they definitely weren't thinned out at all. So I think that's part of the problem here with these guys. They look like they'd grown nice and long and probably could have been good carrots, so I think that's on my part there. Well, there's my final carrot and parsnip haul here. I'll be going through these, like anything that's really tiny like this, I'm just gonna throw in the compost. I do have a few nicer carrots in here. They're worth saving. Definitely stopped paying attention to the carrots. Some of these needed to be thinned out more. Some I think maybe need a bit more water. Some were just planted way too late. I really think these Neptune that were in the fabric raised bed were just planted way too close together. That would be my guess with those. Otherwise, they grew nice and long. I wasn't sure about growing a longer carrot in those beds, but they sure grew nice and long. So I don't think those beds are gonna impede the growth lengthwise anyways. The carrots, they just didn't have room to fill out. But decent carrots and a few nice parsnips. But nothing spectacular, but you can't have a spectacular harvest of everything. So I'll take this. It's more food in the pantry, and that's what we need. So I'm going to give you a real quick peek at my raised bed that has the cover on it, where I have some Swiss chard and some, what do I have in there? Spinach and lettuce and radishes and kale, and I think that's it. So let's have a real quick peek in there. Last time I looked, they're still doing really well. It's been a couple cold nights, but some really nice days since then, so it should still look pretty good. Okay, it's pretty windy, so when the plastic gets moving around, that's going to be really loud, but we'll have a quick little peek inside. Slugs really seem to like my radishes. There's the Swiss chard back there, spinach over there, a couple kinds of kale over in this end, and the pak choi. So, other than the lettuce is looking rough, and it's been beat up a few times. It's had some incidents, but everything else is looking really good. Biggest problem here, I think, is the slugs. So, pak choi is starting to be unhappy with this weather, but we'll see. I'm just kind of interested how long I can keep this going. I know this cover doesn't deal well with the weight of snow, so if we get any amount in the next while here, this little experiment will be over and I'll have to put it away, but I'll keep it up till then. It's the 8th of November. It's 8 degrees Celsius outside, and I just got this harvest, so I'm pretty happy gardener here today. I'm gonna just go through and trim these carrots a little bit and get them ready for going inside, and get this stuff all put away. Thanks for coming along to the garden with me today and seeing what I had growing still in November in my Zone 3 Saskatchewan, Canada garden. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so you can continue to see what I'm doing. I'll keep putting out videos throughout the winter, and I'll have lots more outdoor gardening, flowers and vegetables in the spring as well. So hit that like button, thumbs up button if you like this video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.